Background: my husband has a friend, 33, M. They met at an old job and the friend Mike even had my husband as his best man when he got married to Abby, 30, F. After Mike and Abby had a baby, things went downhill and they got divorced. Things are still tense between Mike and Abby, but my husband has remained neutral and tried to be there for the baby at the very least. Abby and I hit it off pretty quickly when we met. The daughter became a niece to me as well. Abby even house sat for us on occasion. Knowing the history and relationship with my husband and Mike, she knew Mike would be invited to our wedding. She wasn't fond of it, but she seemed to respect our decision. After we got engaged, I asked her to be a bridesmaid and the daughter to be our flower girl. Both were very excited about it. Knowing that weddings were still a sensitive subject with Abby, I let her know that if she felt like she had to back out, I understood and we would still be friends. A few months later though, Abby started getting more upset that he would be invited to the wedding. Knowing that Mike probably wouldn't be able to make it due to his work schedule, we assured her that he wouldn't be coming, but he was still due an invite. One day, we mentioned the daughter being our flower girl to Mike and he was surprised. We had assumed that he already knew. I texted Abby right away to let her know that he now knew, but I thought it was weird that it hadn't been brought up yet. She responded with, "Is he invited to the wedding?" She knew he was. That had never changed. I answered yes, "You knew that already though." She didn't respond that night. The next morning we received a group text from her to my husband and I telling us that she wouldn't be attend our wedding because he was invited. Also, that she couldn't believe we would do this to her and she could no longer be friends with us because true friends would not put her in such a horrible situation. I told her that I respected her decision not to come to the wedding but tried to encourage her that we could still be friends. At first, I thought she was just projecting her hurt from the divorce and that she would come around. The next day she privately texted my husband that I had told her that I didn't love him anymore, apologized to him for having to back out, for not being able to be there for him, and that he deserved so much better than me. He told her that she needed to apologize to me. At that point, I had had enough. I told her she had crossed too many lines and to send back our house key because she was no longer welcome in our house or around us. She did send the key back, addressed only to my husband, and our past Christmas cards, everything in the bridesmaid proposal box, and a paper revealing a surprise for my upcoming bridal shower. All I was doing was honoring my husband's request that his friend be invited to the wedding. AITA for kicking her out. NTA, you absolutely communicated with her the whole way through, it seems. It's one thing for Abby to not come to the wedding if she can't stand to be near Mike. But giving ultimatums is too far and selfish. Also, texting your husband that you don't love him after not getting what she wanted is just absolutely unhinged. And sending back Christmas cards and ruining your bachelorette surprise. Homegirl needs to grow up. NTA. It sounds like this woman has developed feelings for your husband. I'd change the locks and block her on everything. Also, have a frank discussion with your husband about whether he's seen any off behavior with her or if she's done anything inappropriate to him. I am getting married and my 19-year-old sister is being ridiculous. She is very jealous of the attention my fiancé is getting and trying to upstage her and compete. This all started when I proposed. I saved for a while because my fiancé is a gorgeous girl and I wanted the ring to be really special. When we first saw my mom, she was showing it off and my sister got quiet, and then left the room for a while. She didn't compliment it or say congratulations. At the next gathering with extended family, the ring got a lot of attention and my sister seemed sad. My mom ended up buying her a diamond bracelet with some sapphires. When I commented, my mom said it just seemed fair because she has my stepdad to buy her jewelry, my fiancé has me, and my sister has no one. Then my fiancé invited them both wedding dress shopping. She said my sister was sulky at the appointment and kept saying she didn't feel good and laying her head on my mom. My fiancé called my mom at some point to talk about colors and the family coordinating, and my mom said my sister already had a dress because she couldn't wait and showed us a very sparkly, very beaded lavender gown. My fiancé told me she is familiar with that designer and my mom dropped some serious cash. At the bridal shower my sister was sulky again and refused to eat, so my mom took her and left to buy her frozen yogurt because she was dizzy. The final straw was the bachelorette party. My sister and mom were invited to the dinner before the big party and my sister wanted a $200 lobster. My mom told her that was rude since my future MIL was paying, and then asked my MIL if it would be okay if she, my mom, paid for my sister's dinner and bought her the lobster. The bridesmaids were lightly teasing my sister about how she is going to have to be my fiancé's slave the day of, and my mom snapped at them very harshly that my sister doesn't have to do a thing. My sister ended up yelling that it is dumb that we are having so many parties, engagement, shower, bachelorette, and wedding, so pretty standard I think. She said we don't need all of those parties and it is just an excuse for attention. My fiancé was hurt and shocked. I just found out that my mom threw a party or my sister the weekend after the bachelorette. She actually rented a beach house for my sister and her friends, and paid for hair and makeup. To me that is crazy. I called my mom and we got into it, and I told her she is enabling my sister's toxic jealousy and if she keeps it up, she won't be invited to the wedding. My mom didn't say much but sent me an angry text about she has handed so much to me, and no one ever did that for her. She worked for her money and I will not tell her what to do with it. She can light it on fire if she wants to. I haven't responded. She also thinks this is fine and normal because my sister is going through a breakup. NTA. Your mom is right and she can spend her money how she wishes. She clearly chooses to use the money to buy love from your sister. Your sister is throwing temper tantrums because things are not about her and your mom enables it. 100%. I wouldn't invite them to the wedding because I guarantee your sister will pout and sulk until she gets whatever she is after, and your mom will ignore your day and focus on your sister. You and your other half deserve to have the day be about you, and not a 19-year-old who was never taught to share the spotlight. Agreed, mom has the right to spoil her daughter. But she can't complain about the results, like no one wanting her daughter around because she believes the world is supposed to revolve around her. NTA, op. In fact, you'd be foolish not to tell them in no uncertain terms not to come, guarantee they'll ruin your special day. Mom wants to worship her daughter, she can do it without dampening everyone else's fun and happiness. I, 28M, am gay, and my parents disowned me because of it. I haven't spoken to them in 8 years. However, I'm still close with my sister, 34F, and her daughter, 10F. My sister still has a relationship with our parents. Every year, my parents host a big Christmas gathering. I'm never invited, but my sister and niece always go. A day or two after that, we do a smaller Christmas with just me, my sister, and my niece. At our smaller Christmas gathering, while my sister was in the other room, my niece asked why I never go to my parents' Christmas. I replied with the excuse I've used for years: I had to work. My niece said that my excuse didn't make sense because sometimes the big gathering happened on Christmas, when I definitely have the day off. She was getting upset and asked, "Do you not like to be with us?" If she hadn't said that, I probably wouldn't have told her. But I can't stand the idea that she would think I chose not to go to the Christmas. So, in a calm voice, I said, "Well, you know how I date boys instead of girls. Grandma and Grandpa don't like that, so they ask me not to go to Christmas." My niece was obviously upset by this. The next day, she called her grandparents and asked how dare they tell me not to come to Christmas. Apparently she was really harsh with them. Then, my parents called my sister and yelled at her for letting my niece around me. My sister confronted me and said I was an asshole for causing the family fight and for involving my niece in it. I feel really bad, and I really didn't expect my niece to call them and cause a fight. So I wanted to know, AITA. NTA. Your sister is a coward. The reason why it is so easy for your family to exclude you is because there is no consequence on their end. You caused a family fight. That's rich. Your sister should be starting family fights every single day. If she cared the slightest about you. Good luck, OP, and best wishes to you. NTA. You were honest with your niece in an age-appropriate, non-confrontational way. The only reason it turned into a huge fight is because no one else had been honest with her before about the situation. NTA. Your niece is 10 and was bound to find out. Your sister is a bit of because she isn't angry at her homophobic parents but at you for telling the truth. You didn't start this drama, your parents did, years ago.